Okay, guys, we're getting ready for the SSU checkout. When you're ready to back off, and you're ready for us.
Okay, what do you mean by back off? Can I still be in the APFR, or do you need me out of the APFR?
No, we don't need you out of the APFR. Just a foot away is good, and we're ready when you're ready.
Less than 3 minutes in this orbital sunset pass. The electrical systems officer now ready to power up the new SSU and ensure that it is in good operating shape.
Nice work, Tono. Hey, Ricky, we can recap this in the debrief, but just to let people feel a little better about that install, I had a lot of force the first time, but the second time I changed my body position and I had a lot more force. I know we talked about that in the brief, but I really do think that's what the problem was, at least initially. And then the running torque on that bolt is just much higher than that Alpha 4 could handle. So I think that was a great call to confuse the ratchet, and I'm really pumped that we got a good SSU.
Yeah, and good words for you. We really appreciate your suggestion. With that, we can go ahead and get the failed SSU and swap RETs with the installed SSU and get ready to transfer it off to Butch.
All right, that's all in work.
And the whoop you heard at the 2-hour mark into today's spacewalk, indicating that we have a good sequential shunt unit, a good replacement. That work completed with just 1 minute and 45 seconds left in this sunset pass of the International Space Station. The crew was running against the clock, but all's well that ends well. A new sequential shunt unit up and running to restore full 8 power channel capability for the complex.
Okay, Butch, it's got a good crew lock bag. Go ahead and release it. There you go. I'm going to release it. Make sure it's not interfere with me anywhere. So far, it's not. All right. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this one from my BRT, and I'm going to take my BRT red off.
And you can, if you want to read, you can take your BRT ret right to the square scoop and then put it in the crew lock bag if you want.
Okay, we'll get that in a minute, Ricky. We're already a little down the road from that.
Copy that.
I appreciate those words.
This is Mission Control Houston. Just to recap, the new sequential shunt unit is up and running in good shape. Power now can be restored to the 3A power channel on the starboard truss of the International Space Station that went down with the internal short experienced by the old sequential shunt unit back on May 8th. The confirmation of a good replacement sequential shunt unit coming at 9:16 a.m. Central Time at the 2-hour mark into today's spacewalk. It came with just 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the nighttime pass, in which the work had to be completed to ensure that the solar rays were not discharging any electrical potential while the crew is in the neighborhood of the integrated electronics assembly at the base of the mast canister holding the starboard solar arrays on that side of the truss of the complex.
I'm ready.
You should have 2 adjustable external tethers and a ret, a small on the inside lid.
That's correct.
And then on the inside, you should have a small with a square scoop with the failed SSU.
That's affirmative.
Well, when you're ready, you can go ahead and put your BRT ret onto the large ORU bag and stow it on your BRT. Reed, we need you to go ahead and take the small scoop and put it in the crew lock bag. And I'm ready for a crew lock bag inventory. If you want to do it in the APFR, if you want to get out, it's your call.
Yeah, I'm going to Trinity, punch us off as we move that crew lock bag.
Good call.
What do you need me to do, buddy? Why don't you just give me that far end, or the right side?
This is Mission Control Houston. The failed sequential shunt unit now will be transported by Barry Wilmore back to the Quest airlock to be stowed inside the airlock. It is in a orbital replacement unit bag designed to accommodate this electrical voltage regulator component. The crew will be cleaning up the work site on the far starboard side of the International Space Station, making its way back to the port truss, where they will then begin work on the nadir or Earth-facing side of the P1 truss to remove an articulating portable foot restraint and a tool stanchion from that location and move it to the S0 truss, the first step in a series of work procedures for the remainder of the spacewalk that will relocate camera and other equipment from the P1 truss onto other locations and clear a robotics path for the 2015 relocation of the permanent multi-purpose module from its current location to a location on the Tranquility module of the International Space Station.
Small, you should have your ratchet with the 7/16 wobble.
Affirm.
With a small, you should have a square scoop.
Affirm.
And the final small should have a handrail clamp.
That's got it all. Thank you.
Outstanding. You can get out of the 8.
Once you can release that adjustable right there for me, that'd be great. Let me get this one strap on first. No problem at all. All right, Ricky, we're going to clean up the steps. We're going to get the crew lock bag put back on the APFR. We will get the APFR on the BRT, and Butch will get the SSU on his BRT, and I think I got to lead out.
Yeah, that's a good call. And before you leave, the final thing we'll need is a glove and HAPA status. And we're back with WVS.
Sounds good. Buttons just starting to come up. Over to you. Thanks. Thanks, Butch. Well, Ricky, I think I was a bit naive when I thought the SSU install would be a pretty cut and dry task.
You guys made it look like a piece of cake.
Three, one, gloves and hopper, good.
Copy.
Good on two. Let me get my gloves here in a second.
Copy, Butch.
This is Mission Control Houston, 2 hours, 8 minutes into today's spacewalk by Wiseman and Wilmore. To recap, the major and highest priority of the spacewalk now complete, the replacement of a failed voltage regulator called a sequential shunt unit on the starboard side of the truss of the International Space Station. The one bolt holding the failed unit in place proved to be a bit balky, as is sometimes the case with component replacement work on the outside of the station, given the thermal dispersions between passes in and out of daylight and darkness. The thing that made today's work a bit more dramatic than usual was that the crew was working against a countdown clock to ensure that they could complete this work in a 35-minute window while the station was in an orbital sunset, inhibiting any potential for electrical discharge from the solar arrays on the starboard truss of the station. With about 1 minute and 45 seconds left before passing back into an orbital sunrise, that work was completed, and the electrical systems officer here in Mission Control confirming that they had powered up the SSU and that everything looked very good with the new unit. So with that having been accomplished, task one complete, the crew now will be cleaning up the work site and moving on to the next task. That will be the relocation by Wiseman of an articulating portable foot restraint from the P1 or Port 1 truss of the station to the S0 truss, right in the center of the backbone of the International Space Station, and the relocation of a tool stanchion accompanying that portable foot restraint, moving it away from the P1 truss. That is a required task for next year's relocation of the permanent multi-purpose module that is scheduled to be relocated from the Earth-facing port on the Unity module to the forward port of the Tranquility module robotically. This all designed to begin the work of reconfiguring the station to accept international docking adapters, two of which will be launched on SpaceX Dragon cargo craft, and which will be used for the arrival and dockings of commercial crew vehicles in the years ahead.
Okay, I'm BRT to the remove the SSU, paddles are out, good take and full test. Also ready, taking my gloves. Donald, before you leave, it will be a huge help if you could release the bag from structure. Would think you'll be able to do that right at your feet. Give me a couple. Yeah, no rush.
How do your gloves look, Butch?
Good gloves. Thanks, Ricky.
Copy, thanks.
Still pristine.
And the failed SSU looks good on your BRT. We have great WVS you guys working right now. When you get it all bundled up, again, you guys are doing great on the timeline. We're just going to follow your safety tethers back to the S1, S3 interface. You're going to pick up your green hooks and take your time.
Sounds good. Butch, any chance? Can you get over there and get it or not? I can get this one. Ricky, I am BRT'd, not to the ABFR yet, but my BRT rat is on the crew lock bag, and the crew lock bag is ready to the ABFR, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the ABFR.
Copy and concur.
I'll present this to you. If you'll just restrap those two tethers back down, that's all I need. Give me a couple. No rush. Are you able to reach those? Yep. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put them on their little tether points here. Perfect. Thank you, sir. You're quite welcome. Okay, Ricky, I'm looking over the white side on my side. I see nothing left behind.
Great words. Hey guys, just an FYI, we're unlatching the BGA just to complete the checkout.
Copy that. Copy. All right, Todd, I'm at the top of the IEA. I see you. Yep, I'm coming up to phase 1 now. Nice work. All right, I'm on phase 1. Copy that.
And guys, just to give you an FYI, we're down WVS for about 5 minutes.
Copy that. Okay, Ricky, EV1, I got my green hook. Circums are unlocked.
Copy that. And Reed, you'll be heading back to the CETA cart to WIF 4 to stow the APFR.
Good words.
And while you guys are translating, I have a caution for you. When we get on the P1 side, just be careful of the radiator beam. If you end up kicking it accidentally, which you're not going to do, just wait a couple minutes to allow the structural response to dissipate.
Copy that. Copy, Rick. Okay, Ricky, I've retrieved my green. Both tethers are unlocked.
Good words, Butch. You're going to continue heading to the airlock, and you're going to open the thermal cover when you're there, and I'll have words when you get there.
Copy. Hey, Ricky, you got a clocking for the APFR again?
12.
Copy 12. Right below you, Tano. Copy that, Butch. Okay, Ricky, what pitch roll on y'all left the same?
We're happy to leave it the way you had it configured before, and you're going to go ahead and leave the crew lock bag on there, and just give us a black on black with a pull twist test.
Black on black, good pull twist. And I'll tell you what, I still got that crew lock bag on my beer. I may just move that down on the Vita card here so it's easier to get down the road.
Good plan.
Butch, are you on the cedar rail? I'm on the rail, almost to the airlock. Copy that, thanks. Okay, Ricky, the clock bag is temp stowed on square alpha with a single adjustable.
Okay, copy that. And with that, you're going to translate to the P1 Nader inboard, the CP7 worksite.
Okay, copy that. I'll be on my way in a couple minutes.
Take your time. You guys are right on the timeline, doing a great job. Tano, you're going to be looking for Bay 4 marker when you get in that direction.
Ricky, the thermal cover is open.
Copy, Butch.
You said you'd have more words, so I'm assuming I'm still in the SSU, correct?
Yeah. All right, so what you're going to do is stow the SSU large ORU bag in the airlock, and you're going to retrieve the small ORU bag and stow that on your BRT.
Copy. Good work.
And we would like you to leave the large small ret on the SSU small ORU bag.
Okay.
And Butch, just to clarify, when you grab that small ORU bag to put on your BRT, just keep the large small with it.
Copy that. Thanks, Ricky.
And we're back with you guys, WVS.
Copy that. Okay, Ricky, I've got the SSU ready to the internal large small. I'm taking my BRT red off.
Okay, copy that.
I now have my BRT red from the small ORU bag.
Copy that, and just keep the large small with it.
Okay.
Reed, you're looking for CETA marker 8190.
Okay, 8190. Okay, I see that, Ricky, and I see 3530, which is where I think I'm dropping my green hook.
Exactly, just nadir of you.
Copy that. Okay, Ricky, green hook is on 3530. It's unlocked, and just to double check, I see my blank there is on an unlocked circuit. It's black on black, and my red hook is on my right D-ring extender, and it's black on black.
Okay, copy that. You're going to proceed, you're going to continue outboard on face 1, and you're heading out to marker 9150, which is at the FHRC, and there you're going to drop down nadir.
Copy that, 9150, go nadir.
This is Mission Control Houston. 2 hours, 27 minutes into today's spacewalk. Reed Wiseman and Butch Wilmore are making their way from the far starboard side of the International Space Station's truss to the nadir or Earth-facing side of the P1 truss on the port side of the station, where they will remove a articulating portable foot restraint and tool stanchion from the P1 location that it currently resides at, and will move it to the S0 truss. The first step in the rest of today's spacewalk work that will clear the P1 nadir side of the truss for next year's robotic relocation of the permanent multi-purpose module to the forward port on the Tranquility module from its current location on the nadir side of Unity. This module shell game and associated relocation of camera and television equipment that will round out today's spacewalk, all part of the initial steps of the reconfiguration of station modules to accept the delivery of international docking adapters to be launched next year on a couple of SpaceX Dragon resupply ships to the station for the arrival of commercial cargo ships in the years ahead, commercial crew vehicles in the years ahead. Once this portable foot restraint and tool stanchion are relocated to a worksite interface attached to that worksite interface on the S0 truss, Then Wiseman and Wilmore will be working in tandem on the removal of a stanchion and a failed camera from what is called camera port 7 on the nadir side of the port 1 truss. The camera that has failed has lost its zoom capability, and so it needs to be removed anyway from that location because of the aforementioned robotics clearance required for the relocation of the permanent multipurpose module next year. And there in the field of view, attached to the Piers docking compartment, is the 56 Progress resupply ship, the Russian cargo ship, on the Russian segment of the International Space Station that will undock from the complex on Monday, October 27th.
Reed, looks like you're at the whiff.
I am there, man.
Looks like Butch is just coming under the MT, so he'll be there shortly.
He can take all the time he needs.
Concur.
Okay, Ricky, I got a ret on the tether points on the APFR.
Copy that, thanks. And Butch, I show you, you're going to translate nadir at the port lab strut.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at, Ricky.
Okay, and you're looking for handrail on the lab 0246.
Super, that's where I'm at. Thanks, Ricky.
Okay, copy. You're going to set your green hook.
All right, Ricky, green is down and locked. The peanut nearest to me is unlocked. And the yellow, white connected to the other peanut is bell down and black on black.
Okay, copy. Good work. You're going to continue outboard on phase 1, and you're going to translate nadir at 8280. That's where the UMAs are located.
Okay.
This view from the helmet camera for Butch Wilmore shows him as he makes his way and configures his tethers and hooks along the translation path he is moving along to get to the nadir side of the P1 truss on the port side of the International Space Station, where he will join Reed Wiseman for the relocation of an articulating portable foot restraint and tool stanchion from that location to a similar work interface site on the S0 truss in the middle of the backbone of the International Space Station. 2 hours, 35 minutes now into the spacewalk. The International Space Station currently flying 260 statute miles just off the northeast coast of Brazil, moving from southwest to northeast across the Atlantic, soon to cross the west coast of Africa over the Gambia.
But you may have made that look too easy. I don't know about that.
Yeah, and you're looking for a temp stow location for your small ORU bag, Butch. We called out 3621, but you guys said, I think you said yesterday there might be another one you want to use.
Well, 3621's way down by me, so if Butch just puts it on 3616, which is by his hand for now, we can get it later.
Copy that. Sounds good.
It would be better if, yeah, if you can go 3616, that'd be great, Butch. Well, I'll tell you what. If you give me a minute, I might be able to give a hand with this. Butch, if you want to pass me, once you take a breather, if you want to pass me your crew lock bag, or the smaller U bag, I can probably dump stow it for you. Here, bud.
This is the second spacewalk for Reed Wiseman in as many weeks. 8 days ago, he conducted a 6-hour, 13-minute spacewalk with Alexander Gerst of the European Space Agency, who is following the spacewalk activities from inside the International Space Station. This is Wilmore's first spacewalk in his career. He will conduct 2 additional spacewalks in January with astronaut Terry Virts, who is scheduled to launch on a Soyuz spacecraft from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan in late November, with 2 additional new crew members for the station, Anton Shkaplerov and Samantha Cristoforetti of the European Space Agency. Wiseman, Max Sarayev, and Gerst will be landing in their Soyuz spacecraft in Kazakhstan in the morning of November 10th, which would be the evening of November 9th U.S. time, to complete their 5.5 months on the International Space Station and to bring Expedition 41 to a close. Wilmore will become commander of the station for Expedition 42.
Okay, Ricky, the small ORU bag is temp stowed.
Copy that. Are you still ready to the...
3621.
Copy that. Are you still ready to the APFR?
Well, we'll see in a minute.
Looks like it.
Well, I am. I just don't like that. I don't like that tether going over my head like that, so let me get that sorted out for a minute.
Okay, copy that.
Hey, Butch. Yes. Can you take a look at my helmet and tell me how I can get this red off it? Second. I see nothing on this side. Actually, there we go. I got it. I figured it out. Good job. It's actually caught on my visor of all things.
Looks good, guys. The next step is you're going to, we see the ret, you're going to release the APFR, and the two of you are going to shepherd that over to S0 with 33.
Okay, Ricky, that sounds good.
Now the helmet camera view from Reed Wiseman.
This is the hardest translation point for me. He made that look easy, though.
And you're just basically going to go duck under the station and head inboard zenith. When you get the diagonal handrails that kind of run from nadir to zenith, the whiff will be right there to meet you.
Yep, I see the whiff right now.
The whiff referred to by Spacewalk communicator Ricky Arnold is the worksite interface upon which this articulating portable foot restraint and associated tool stanchion will be relocated to a similar worksite interface at the S0 truss. This is the first in a series of movements of equipment to clear a path on the space-facing side of the Port 1 truss of the station and clear the robotics path that will be employed to maneuver the permanent multi-purpose module from its current location on the space-facing side of the Unity node over to the forward port of the Tranquility module in the summer of 2015.
As far as I can go for now. All right, give me just a minute. I'm going to take my time and local in between each stop. I agree. Okay, Butch, I got pretty good control of it. All right, release. So you can let go. Come towards me. All right, I have it. All right, you got it? How much further can you go right there? Because I start getting into dead man's land here. That's about as far as I can go with that repositioning. Okay. Why don't you let go of it then? I've got it. You got it? Reposition. Okay. Hopefully you can get a little farther. Let me get my bearing here. Yeah, see how that strut's coming down up by your head? Up here, yeah. That's where we're heading. Yeah. There's a handrail down to your right there on that strut. I don't know if you can reach that and still get the tool stanchion. I can. There's one right here. Put my tether here. Okay. Now I'll come back. Perfect. 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 Can you lift it up? Looks like you got it. I got it. Can you keep going down with it? All right, that's the end of my tether. Reposition, stand by. Okay, let me get a local. Seawolf 33 up there. Okay, great. I'm gonna, if you can bring it a little lower, I'll start heading up there. I got it. Okay. Can you hold it for just a second? Give me 1 minute and I can. Okay, I just want to swap hands. All right, I got it for just a second. You got it? Hang on. Okay, I have it again. Okay, hold it there for a minute. Got it. Okay, Ricky, we are ready for the clocking, and I'll be on the double line.
Okay, double lines then will be 5. So you can go ahead and soft dock it and then rotate to 5 on the double lines.
Okay, and Butch, I think you can let go. Okay. I might need you to tend it a little bit, but I think you, for now I've got it completely. Okay. It's way away from me now. That's no problem at all. I got good control. Okay. Any chance you can take the tool stanchion and just bring it towards the U.S. lab, just like a half an inch. Stand by. Looks like we're over Africa again.
Yeah, you're going to be coming up over the Moroccan Sahara there in a minute.
Okay, what do you want me to do? Pull that end towards you a little bit. A little bit more. All right, now back towards me. I just can't get the draws or the width to go in. Back towards me a little bit. Keep going. Keep going. Maybe even a little bit more. Right back. Interesting. All right, towards the lab a little bit. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. As far as I can go. We might need to move Is it bumping on something? No, it's down on your end. It feels like it's engaged. No, it's definitely not. Let go for a second. Okay. There we go. Now we're double line 5. Good full twist. Let me turn this head just a little bit. You got it's docked, you say? It is definitely docked. Okay. Head is twisted. Okay, I'm getting my BRT right off it.
Looks great, guys. It looks like the tool stanchion head is clear of the MLI. Nice work.
Thanks, Ricky. Yep, looks like it's in good config. Now we just got to get that VSSA out of there, and you guys can go ahead and start swinging.
This is Mission Control Houston. The articulating portable foot restraint and accompanying tool stanchion now securely in place at the worksite interface at the S0 truss at the 2-hour, 49-minute mark into today's spacewalk. While Wiseman and Wilmore were finishing the securing of that equipment on the S0 truss, the electrical systems officer here in Mission Control reports that the checkout of the newly installed spare sequential shunt unit continues to move along in flawless fashion. The 3A power channel for the International Space Station's solar array system will be up and running, back in the mix by this time tomorrow.
You might even have to go back so that I can get out of here.
You going down? I can go down lower.
Hold on.
There you go. We're clear. Nice work. You made that look easy.
It wasn't. Okay, Ricky from EV1. I'd say, let's just keep on rolling. I'm feeling pretty good. I probably used a little more energy on the FSU than I anticipated, but I'm feeling good, and I think I'll be good to do the weather relocate of the DVCG, but obviously that's a long way down the road.
Okay, copy that. Yeah, and Butch, how you doing?
Doing good, Ricky. Thank you. Feeling well.
Okay, for the CP7 task then, I got a caution I'm going to read to you. You're going to avoid contact with the silver Teflon tape on the camera and the infamous Z93 paint on the camera light. And when you're ready for steps and position, let me know.
Next on the docket for Wiseman and Wilmore will be the removal now of a degraded camera system called a camera group that is located on the nadir or earth-facing side of the P1 truss. It has lost its zoom capability, so it will be removed and brought back inside the International Space Station's Quest airlock. Also, the crew will be removing a stanchion upon which that camera group has been mounted. The stanchion itself will be moved to the space-facing side on the top side of the Harmony module.
Okay, Ricky, I'm up.
All part of the relocation of equipment to clear the nadir side of the Port 1 truss for next year's relocation of the permanent multi-purpose module from its current location on the earth-facing side of the Unity module to the forward port on the Tranquility module.
The lens hood is not absolutely square to the camera. Got a little bit of an angle.
Okay, copy. We're bringing that one in anyway, so that doesn't matter. Why don't we go ahead and place the pan tilt mechanism in the lock position that would push, and you need to push and turn the lever 90 degrees. Reed, you're going to be removing crew lock bag 2 from the small RU bag if you haven't already done it, and you're going to temp stow that on 3621, but I heard you talking about it earlier.
Okay, that's all going to work, and I've not done that yet, Ricky.
Okay, copy that. And Butch, we have...
Did you say you push that in and turn it?
That's affirmative.
All right, that's complete. It is in the lock position.
Okay, copy that. Good work, Butch. You're going to attach a large ret hook to the camera group tether point. We're going to get that out of the small RU bag once Reed has that ready.
Copy.
All right, what do you need out of here, Butch?
The large end of that large small.
Good call.
On the outside of the bag.
The removal of this camera system from the nadir or earth-facing side of the P1 truss will have Wilmore using the pistol grip tool to back out a pair of bolts The camera group consists of a television camera interface controller, a pan and tilt assembly, and a pan tilt unit.
And guys, we've lost
the camera itself, and an accompanying light. On Earth, this all would weigh about 41 pounds.
Butch, let me know when that's installed.
Okay, I'm ready.
Does that mean that's installed?
That is installed.
Okay.
Okay, and if you need to lock out that ret, Butch, you can do that. Reed, you're going to retrieve the round scoop from the small ORU bag, the external microconical.
Okay, that'll be a couple seconds here.
Copy that. And Butch, for you, you're going to BRT to the handrail near the base of the stanchion if it's required.
Butch, can you release that lock? Unlock that ret for me. Yeah. Okay, so that ret is going up there. Okay, let me see if I can just get this thing a little bit further out of our way. Is that all she wrote right there? That's all she wrote.
All she wrote?
Okay, so we'll move that down the road a little bit. Okay, that large small, just for bookkeeping, is back on. And now what's the next thing that you need? The round scoop. Is that correct?
That's affirmative. It's going to be on the small
I think that's
ORU external microconical.
Okay, sounds good.
that after we unscrew it, though? Or is it before? Release the bolts?
That's a good point. Ricky, are we ready for that now, or do we need to release the bolts first?
Nope, you're just going to dig it out while Butch gets ready to release the bolts, and when he's ready for PGT settings, I have him.
Okay, sounds good. We're ready for that.
Hang on, Ricky, I'm going to get a quick towel.
And we'll pick up with KU and have WVS in about 15 minutes, guys, so we'll be in the blind for most of this task.
Sounds good.
Okay, Ricky, I'm ready for PGT settings.
All right, Butch, it's Bravo 1, counter 2.
Bravo 1, counter 2. Here we go.
Yeah, you're going to release the outer bolt, and we think it's only the forward bolt that needs to be released. Sugar did some good get-ahead work for you, and the aft bolt should already be released.
Yes, one of the bolts is already released.
It should be 13 turns.
Once again, at the 2-hour, 59-minute mark into the spacewalk today, Wiseman and Wilmore at the Port 1 truss of the International Space Station working together. Wilmore in the process of unbolting this failed and degraded camera group that's lost its zoom capability. It and an accompanying stanchion upon which it has been mounted for several years. The camera will be brought inside. The stanchion will be moved to the space-facing side or the top side of the Harmony module onto a new camera port called Camera Port 11.
Stand by. Yeah, Ricky, the bolt is torquing out before it gets the free spin.
How many turns did you get on it?
I've got 11 turns in so far. 11.
Okay, stand by.
Hang on just a second, Ricky. That forward bolt may not be all the way disengaged. Stand by. I was wiggling, so I thought it was.
That'd do it.
May not be. Let me hit it again.
Perfect, Butch. That would do it.
It's definitely out now. Yeah, that was the issue.
Okay, copy. The forward outer bolt is out.
That's correct.
And you're heading back to the center jacking bolt.
That's affirmative.
Having passed 3 hours, 2 minutes into the spacewalk, Wilmore continues to back out a pair of bolts holding a camera system in place on the Earth-facing side of the P-1 truss of the International Space Station. Again, the camera has lost its zoom capability. It will be brought back inside the station. There is a new camera that will be installed out on the far port side of the station a bit later in today's spacewalk. The post or stanchion upon which this camera group has been mounted will be relocated to the space-facing or top side of the Harmony module of the International Space Station onto a new camera port, and later in the spacewalk a wireless transceiver assembly that provides helmet camera views during the spacewalks that you enjoy. That will be mounted on top of the relocated stanchion.
Let's go, Butch.
Good. Fully released.
Copy. Fully released.
Just about. I think it was a total of about 29 turns.
Copy that. You can stow your PGT, and then Reed can hand you the round scoop, and you can put it on the camera base. And you want the handle pointing toward the camera.
Copy. And don't release that ret. Don't worry. All right, the scoop is installed.
Okay, unlock the ret that's locked.
Okay.
Things scaring me a little bit.
The scoop is a spacewalking term for a handle, a device to handle this particular component, the camera that is being removed from its post or stanchion. The stanchion itself to be removed from a panel on the Port 1 truss a short time from now, when Wilmore demates a trio of connectors that are currently holding that stanchion in place.
That's where the red is.
Yep, exactly. And then I'm going to try to get it from you there and just send it back right up to here.
Again, this particular camera that is located on what has been known as camera port 7 is being removed along with the stanchion as part of the clearance work underway to provide an unobstructed path for the robotic movement of the permanent multi-purpose module next year to relocate that large module from its current location on the Earth-facing side of the Unity module to the forward port of the Tranquility module.
I got it ready to me. I'd like to just move it to a slightly better spot.
It's going away from me. I don't think I can touch anything.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we could try to leave it right here. If we start knocking it around, we're going to have to go move it. Let's just take the time to move it. Okay, it's on 3623 on the large small there.
Copy, good work. So you guys, Butch, you're ready to demate the stanchion connectors. There's 3 of them from the P1 panel on Alpha 114, and I have some checks for you as you go along, so let me know when you're ready.
I might be in a better position to do those, Ricky, if you want me to just knock those out.
Sounds good to me. Want to start with Alpha 114? The P2J2?
Alpha 114, I see a J2, a J3, and a J4 connector right here.
Okay, let's demate the P2 from the J2, and then I need a FOD, PIN, and EMI check.
Okay, pins look good, no FOD, good EMI band. That's on J2.
Good words, P3, J3, same checks. Butch, you can start on the caps from the stanchion dummy panel while you're there.
Yeah, that's where I'm heading.
Okay, good EMI band, no FOD, no bent pins.
Copy for P3, and then for P4, J4, same checks.
That's in work. All same, no FOD, no bent pins, good EMI bands.
Copy all. So Butch is demating the 3 caps from the stanchion. stanchion dummy panel, and he's going to install those on A114. I have numbers to go with locations, and we're about 60 seconds from handover. So how about if I just pick you up at 60 seconds or so when Butch is in position?
Okay, does the first cap, the 15 cap go on J4?
There's a J4, J3, and a J2 cap up here. I just gave you J4.
Okay.
Yeah, standard cap goes to J4, and we need a FOD check.
No FOD, it looked good.
Release.
Yeah, so it'll be 38-1 to J3. Same check for FOD. And we have a handover.
As it takes like a twisting motion, they can get really tough on there.
Back with you guys.
Sometimes if you push in, like in, not on the back shell on the lever, but on the connector itself, push in towards the connector and then twist it off. Like push in almost like you're mating just the tip of it and then twist it off. Does that make sense or no, not at all?
Makes great sense. It's not working though. Oh, let's wait on that one.
What's the status, guys?
The other one. The J3 cap doesn't want to come off. Let me try the J. All right, Dono. This one's not coming off either. All the way and up.
Okay, we're back with you, WVS, so we're copy that you're having trouble removing the J2 and the J3 caps from the dummy panel.
Correct.
So did you try pushing them that way and then twisting the cap off as you push it in?
I did.
Grip a little farther up towards the mating surface right there. Now push it up and then twist. Nope, not going. No. Try a full-on remate and then demate. See if that helps.
Yeah, I did it with the other one. It didn't work.
Bummer.
It's fully open. Don't want to come off.
Butch Wilmore having a bit of a tough time demating a series of caps from a dummy panel for the tool stanchion on the nadir or earth-facing side of the Port 1 truss. The camera group has been removed. This is a degraded camera that has lost its zoom capability. It will be stowed back inside the Quest airlock. The crew in the process of demating connectors and caps. from this tool stanchion location on the P1 truss. The connectors that held the camera group in place will be reinstalled on this dummy panel to make sure that they are protected. The stanchion will be moved by the two spacewalkers to the zenith or space-facing side of the Harmony module, where it will be installed at a new work site called Camera Port 11.
I was afraid I was going to break it.
This is the J2 Catbutch?
J2.
Hey, no FOD. Oops. Sorry, man.
All right.
And Reed, are you still...
J2 has made it over center.
Is that the 37-1 to J2?
J2 cap, complete, Rick, and now Butch is taking the rep back, and he's going to work on J3 for a minute.
Okay, copy that, and that should be 38-1. Just confirming we have our paperwork in order down here.
All right, we'll check when we pull that next cap off. Let's give it a try for a minute. If it doesn't work, I might try again.
Not going. Fully open. Then your push. Lift. Not going.
I definitely believe you. Yeah, that one really is not going. It's close. I can see it wiggling in there. It's just a little detent. Let me get out of your way. I think you're going to get this one.
Don't know.
Try mating it and demating it again. That might help.
That's what I'm not.
All right.
No.
This is Mission Control Houston approaching the 3-hour 20-minute mark in the spacewalk as Wiseman and Wilmore continue to work to demate caps from the installation location for this tool stanchion that the degraded camera had resided on. The camera has been removed. It will be stowed back inside the station. The stanchion to be relocated to the zenith side of the Harmony module, the top side or space-facing side of Harmony, to a new camera port called Camera Port 11.
To overcome the soft dock?
Yes. You have, Ricky.
And we've seen you wiggle and jiggle the connector and using the slight rolling motion to try to release it?
Correct.
But you've given it a really good twist, like both clockwise and counterclockwise?
I have.
Checking, guys.
Yeah, I thought it was something maybe we could tap it with, like you said, Rick.
Yeah, we see you working on it, Butch.
I'll give it another shot. Tono?
Yeah, I'll come up.
Going upside down into my left hand.
That's a good call, actually. You want to try that first, or you want me to come up and try
Let
it?
me try it first.
All right. I hear you back there. There's no way if you don't get it, I'm going to get it.
Ain't coming. Not coming.
Guys, we're going to leave this here for a minute and have you press on, and we're going to come up with a plan of how we want to address this shortly.
Okay, Ricky. It's off, Ricky. It's off.
Good work.
Nice.
And for the second time in the spacewalk today, persistence pays off as Wiseman and Wilmore, working in tandem, have removed caps from a dummy panel that the camera stanchion was located on.
Thank you. Nice work.
Can we get a number off that? I think it's 38-1, which is going to go to J3.
We're looking, Ricky. Stand by. See anything on there, Butch?
Numbers, hang on. 38-1, correct.
Copy, guys. Thanks. And while that's being mated, we can verify that the TA clamps are closed.
That's made it over center on the cap, and Butch is probably working on TA clamps right now.
Copy that.
And I see that all four of the TA clamps are open. Can you get to those, Butch?
Yes.
All right.
And once we have the TA clamps closed, we're going to install connectors, the 3 connectors on the stanchion dummy panel.
The installation of those connectors will protect the electrical installation points for the stanchion location at the Port 1 truss. The next step for Wiseman and Wilmore will be to release the stanchion itself, place it on a tether, and for it to be transported up to the top side of the Harmony module, where it will be installed in what is called Camera Port 11. Camera Port 11 will also be the new location for a wireless transceiver assembly, essentially a transmitter that provides these views that you're looking at now from the helmet cameras of spacewalking astronauts. This stanchion that held the degraded camera will be the residence for the WETA, or wireless external transceiver assembly, that will be moved from the outside of the port truss of the station onto the Harmony module to the newly relocated stanchion that will be moved shortly over to the top side or space-facing side of the Harmony module.
Okay, that's going in work.
I might want to put this cable inside one of these connectors there, Ricky, so we can put the bag around it, keep it in place. We're not going to connect them.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. You know, best effort to get them inside the bag to protect them during translation.
All right, I got it wrapped around onto one of the clamps. Set.
Thank you, Butch.
Sure.
But you ready for a crew light bag? Or a smaller U bag? There you go. It's all I rent.
Okay, it goes on your side, remember? The handle.
Okay.
So we wrap the lid around the center.
Okay. Check it and make sure all the connectors are the way you want them and stuff.
Yeah, they're good.
All right, you got to hold that for a minute. I got to undo my BRT here, so I got better leverage.
No problem.
Yeah, guys, we're going to wrap the bag around the stanchion, and we're going to orient that bag handle onto the racetrack side of the stanchion. And then we'll use the adjustable tethers to cinch it up.
Good call, Ricky. Thank you.
Okay, Butch, where do you want me? What do you need me?
Well, I can come around.
The small ORU bag referenced by Spacewalk communicator Ricky Arnold is an orbital replacement unit bag that will be wrapped around this camera stanchion to protect it while it is being transported from its location currently on the nadir or Earth-facing side of the P1 truss up to the zenith or space-facing port on top of the Harmony module.
And the other is going to go from the ORU bag handrail to the stanchion tether point, which you'll find on the plate assembly.
Okay, the bag is on one, Ricky, and we're working on the other.
Okay, copy that. And then obviously you're just going to wrap the lid around it and use the integral tether to cinch it off to a soft tether point and tighten it up, but not too much because you have to turn around and undo it. So just enough to be stable.
Okay. You tighten it up?
All right, that's pretty good right there.
You tighten it up a little bit.
Tighten it up a little bit?
Yeah, I got it.
There we go.
That good?
I'll let you decide.
It's pretty stable. Tighten this down a little bit. Yes, that looks good.
Okay, so we got the bag on there. Do you have your BRT ret on it? On the stanchion?
Yep, I'll get that now. Good call. And I am not local to the stanchion.
That's the Sandro call right there. Thank you.
And just let me know when you have that.
Hey, Ricky, the medium ORU bag is on. It's looking good. And right now, Butch is going to ret. I think he's going to ret to the ORU bag.
Okay, copy that. And when we go for the stanchion release, just make sure that no one's locally tethered to it.
We have already verified, and there are no locals on the stanchion.
Having done that myself on the broom in the pool, that's a good check always.
Having done that myself on the VSSA at CP7 in the pool, that is a good check always.
Okay, I've got my PGT ready.
Okay, copy. I have settings for the PGT, and Reed, you're going to remove the socket and install it on the stanchion bolt. And you guys have already talked about how you're going to do this to get a pull check, and we liked your plan. The settings are Bravo 7, counter 2.
Bravo 7, counter 2.
Okay, I've got your 6-inch waddle with a good pull on the pip pin. Well, this might be harder than originally thought.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if you can get your PGT down on there. Let me know when you do, and I'll move my thumb out of the way once you got good downward pressure. Twist your PGT a little bit counterclockwise. Other way. Almost there. Twist it back towards me. Up. Okay, I'm going to remove my thumb. Keep going down. Okay, I'm going to remove my tip pen, Butch. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, don't pull out.
3 hours, 33 minutes into the spacewalk. Wilmore, with the assistance of Wiseman, about to release the camera stanchion or post from its installation position at the nadir side or Earth-facing side of the P1 truss on the port side of the International Space Station's backbone. This stanchion will be relocated on top of the Harmony module to face the space-facing side of Harmony, Zenith, if you will, on a new camera port location that will also see the installation of a wireless receiver and transmitter assembly a bit later in today's spacewalk.
And Reed, are you looking to put your BRT red on this stanchion?
No, Butch has his BRT red on this stanchion. Butch actually has his BRT red on the medium ORU, or the small ORU bag.
Okay, copy. Thank you.
I think that's it. See how many turns we got. Is it loose?
Not coming off. It could just be the soft sock, but...
Yeah, it's got 21 turns.
Well, let's keep turning because it's not coming off.
Okay.
And you should be able to get back on that bolt without me needing... Actually, while we got that off, give a real quick pull test on your 6-inch.
On there.
Looks good. I agree.
It's got to be off.
If it is, it's got a sturdy soft sock. How many turns are we expecting?
17. We're way past that.
Do you feel bottoming out?
It feels like it's going over, yeah.
All right, well, throw your PGT away. Maybe you can give it a try on that thing, but...
Bet.
I don't know, Butch. That's not coming off. Tell you what, Ricky, we've had some sticky connectors today, that's for sure. All the way around.
Appreciate your patience, guys.
Oh, appreciate yours.
Reed Wiseman's comment referring to the sticky bolt that caused a bit of concern earlier in the removal and replacement of the sequential shunt unit voltage regulator, the prime objective of today's spacewalk. The crew put a little muscle into the activity, used a ratchet wrench along with their pistol grip tool to not only remove the bolt and remove the failed sequential shunt unit, but to screw the bolt back in place once the spare SSU had been installed in its slot on the far starboard side of the truss of the International Space Station. That SSU has now been powered up, is in good shape, and the 3A power channel that was taken down by the SSU's internal short back in May, that 3A power channel should be reintegrated into the mix of the full electrical capability of the station by this time tomorrow.
I don't know, Ricky. Yeah, there's no way that bolt's engaged anymore, but we can drive it. We drive it.
Are you guys seeing motion on that bolt so it can spring in and out?
Actually, let's take a look at that. Yeah, it certainly looks like the bolt's springing in and out. It does. Coming down.
Okay, guys, we're showing the bolt. If you're getting spring on the bolt, then we think it's released, and we have two options. The first is rocking it back and forth to release the soft dock, and the second is to get the pry bar and work on it that way. So why don't you try wiggling a little bit more and see if it releases? We're also getting a little sunlight on it, which may help.
Oh, I think it's almost there.
The view from Butch Wilmore's helmet camera of Reed Wiseman as the International Space Station passes 260 miles over Auckland, New Zealand. Now 3 hours, 38 minutes into the spacewalk, the crew continuing to press ahead now with the relocation of television camera and associated transmitter equipment, clearing a path on the nadir or Earth-facing side of the P1 truss of the station for next year's relocation of the permanent multi-purpose module from its current location on the nadir side of the Unity module. It will be moved robotically to the forward end of the Tranquility module. The first step being taken today with this relocation of this camera equipment to provide better television quality transmission capability, as well as clearing the path for the start of module relocation that will see international docking adapters affixed to two locations on pressurized mating adapters on the station for the acceptance of commercial crew vehicles in the years ahead.
Pull it out and put on your mini workstation, Reed.
Okay, and that is the round scoop from the failed ETVCG, is that correct? Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the round scoop. There is a round scoop in the crew lock bag, and that's what I'm getting.
Concur.
Okay, I have it on my BRT.
Copy, Butch. Jaws and paddles look good from the view we had. And
Jaws and paddles.
We'll take glove and hap check from you, Butch, and then and Reed, we'll get that after we get a crew lock bag inventory from you.
Sounds good, Ricky.
Hap's dry. Well, it still look good. Surprisingly, after all that work on those connectors.
Because of thermal expansion and contraction as the International Space Station passes in and out of darkness and daylight as it orbits the Earth every 90 minutes, it is often that these very tiny bolts and connectors and screws offer the most resistance for spacewalking astronauts as they manipulate tools as if they were wearing boxing gloves. Very, very difficult and grueling work, not necessarily complicated, but it is grueling work to disconnect these connectors sometimes. In any event, the camera stanchion or post has now been removed from its location on the P1 truss and will be transported to the top side of the Harmony module a short time from now to be installed at a new camera port called Camera Port 11.
Copy that. So we're ready for a glove and half check from you as well, Reed.
Okay. Hi, Ricky. Aside from a few scuffs, my gloves look good. My half is nice and dry.
Okay, thanks, guys. We're about PET of 342, and we've got most of the stuff done we need for the the relocation of the PMM. We just want to get a feel for you guys. Feeling good about going ahead with the WETA and continuing on this, or would you like us to think about an alternative plan?
Well, hey, let me ask you this, Ricky. How is that? How do we compare with the original timeline? Because I think we're doing pretty good.
You guys are about 20 minutes ahead on the timeline.
Okay, Butch, if you're good, let's press with the WETA.
I'm good. Let's press.
We're looking at about 90 minutes worth of work ahead of you, and hopefully the connectors and everything else behaves itself a little bit better for the next 90 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna. And hey, for maybe prepping to leave the work site, and I am gonna take the ETVCG and just move it to a better location, if that's all right with you guys.
Yeah, that is fine with us, and we like that plan. And you're going to translate P1 Zenith outboard to the CP8 work site, and just avoid contact with the WETA as best you can. And Butch, you got the EWC antennas that you're going on the lab end cone near the handrails. You don't want to use those, and just watch out for them. And I can vector you, or you guys can give me calls along the way.
Yeah, I remember those, Ricky. Thank you. Good call.
So with that status check from the crew, their suits are in great shape. No issues with their helmet absorption pads, nice and dry inside for both crew members. They are going to press ahead now on separate paths, with Wilmore relocating the camera stanchion to Camera Port 11 on the top side of the Harmony module, while Reed Wiseman makes his way outboard on the port truss of the station to disassemble a WETA, or the Wireless Video System External Transceiver Assembly. That's a 110-pound transmitter, if you will, that enables helmet camera views that you typically enjoy during spacewalks. The relocation of this WETA from the far port side on Camera Port 8 on the station's truss to the top side of the Harmony module will provide better quality coverage of helmet camera views in the future. With the removal of the degraded camera and the associated camera stanchion from the nadir side, or the Earth-facing side of the P1 truss that has completed the objective of that work, that being to clear a robotic movement path for the relocation of the permanent multi-purpose module, the PMM, next year. That work scheduled for the summer of 2015. There is additional preparatory work for the move of the PMM that will be moved from the Earth-facing side of the Unity node that connects the U.S. and Russian segments of the station to the forward port of the Tranquility module, all part of the work to accept international docking adapters for the future arrival of commercial crew vehicles.
Ricky, I'm stopping here because I'm going to put down a fair lead, keep my tether below these antennas.
Copy that, Butch.
How you doing, Butch?
I'm good.
It looks like you're there. When you're ready, I need you to inspect the CP11 receptacle threads and just make sure there's no FOD and no damage.
Yeah, let me get this fair lead in here first, Ricky, and I'll be ready.
Hey, take your time.
Okay, Ricky, I've got the large small to the failed ETVCG on handrail 3652. Remind me to come back and get this down the road.
3652, copy, Reed.
The threads look really good, Ricky.
Okay, copy that, Butch. And what we want you to do is to go ahead and release your bag and stanchion from the ORU bag stanchion from the BRT jaws, and we'd like to go ahead and try to soft dock that on CP11 if you can.
I'm heading out towards you, the Weta.
Back with you guys. Butch, we want you to go ahead and why don't we go ahead and configure your PGT right now before you release the bag and stanchion from your BRT jaws if you haven't done it yet.
Ready. Ricky, you copy?
Are you ready for settings?
I am ready for PGT.
Okay, Bravo 3 clockwise 2 on your PGT.
Bravo 3 clock 2.
Good read. And what we're going to have you do, release the ORU bag stance from the BRT so you can use your BRT as required. And you're going to install the stanchion on CP11, and seeing how difficult it was to come off, it might require pretty significant force to install it just into the soft dock. The bolt's going to be ISS forward. The racetrack will be port, and you might not be able to feel the soft dock. So best effort to get that to the soft dock, and then we'll go ahead and install it with the PGT.
Copy all, Ricky. We had talked about in the brief of trying to install this with it on my BRT, and you want me to forego that and go ahead and BRT, correct?
You're free to attempt it with it on your BRT if you think it'll work.
I can try.
We have the time.
No, that's not going to work. I'll take it off the BRT.
And Reed, you're looking for CETA marker 9540.
Okay, Ricky, I'm already up at the Weta, and I am BRT into a handrail near it.
Yeah, you can tell we don't have WVS, huh?
Yeah. That's quite all right, buddy. That's quite all right.
You're going to attach your BRT ret to the Weta tether point. That's the one closest to the jacking bolt. And if you need to lock out the ret, go ahead. And you can BRT to a handrail near the base if you think it's required. And I have settings when you're ready.
Okay, let's talk this real quick. I did not use my BRT ret because I'm already BRT'd and I'm kind of up at this the Weta. So let's just go with this for now. And let me get my PGT out, and we'll tidy up the rets here after we get it removed.
That sounds fine to us, Reed.
Okay, Ricky, PGT settings, please.
You're going to be Bravo 1, clock counter 2 for Reed.
Okay, Bravo 1, counter 2, stand by. I'll call that set.
Yep, and you're going to release.
Bravo 1, counter 2 is set, so I had to do a quick count.
Okay, copy that. You're going to release the outer bolts, both of them, 13 turns, and they should spring out and free spin when they're done. And just call out the forward and aft when you have them.
Copy that. That should work.
How's it going, Butch?
I've got it soft docked. It's just trying to maneuver for a good position to put a PGT on it.
Awesome job.
Soft dock, we'll see. My ret keeps pulling it over. I need to lock it out.
Okay, copy that.
Working in parallel, Butch Wilmore at the 3-hour 55-minute mark in the spacewalk today, about to install this camera stanchion or post onto camera port 11 on the top side of the Harmony module of the International Space Station, while Reed Wiseman is at the far side of the port truss of the station, about to remove a wireless video system transceiver assembly called a WETA that provides helmet camera views from the crew members as they conduct spacewalks outside of the International Space Station. That WETA will be moved onto the camera stanchion on top of the Harmony module a short time from now. The stanchion was removed from the Earth-facing side of the port truss of the station a short time ago. It used to house a camera system that is now considered failed with an inability to zoom anymore. This activity all clearing a path for the relocation of the permanent multi-purpose module from its current location on the Earth-facing side of the Unity node of the International Space Station to the Tranquility module on the station. That work schedule for the summer of 2015.
Hey, Ricky, I went 17 turns on that one too, a little more, and it's bringing up. So both outer bolts are released.
Copy, outer released. So you're going to, same setting, Bravo 1, counter 2 for Reed, 31 turns on the center jacking bolt, and this guy will free spin as well.
Copy that, 31. Driving.
Richie, I went ahead and readied stanchion to station. Help me remaneuver myself.
Hey, good call. Thank you.
Hey, Ricky, 31 turns, and it's out.
Nice work. You can stow your PGT, and we're going to install a round scoop onto the WETA, and then we'll get the RET config before you go ahead and remove it and put on your BRT. Probably the best one is have your BRT RET to it.
Yay, firm. Okay, I got a round scoop on it. It's captured and locked.
Okay, copy that. You can go ahead and, as long as you got a RET config that you're happy with, you can remove the WETA and stow it on your BRT. And we're back with you at WVS. How's it going, Butch?
Yeah, I'm trying to reposition now, Ricky.
Take your time.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go the other side completely.
Hey, Butch, and Reed's on his way down your way shortly. So if you think it's better to do this with two people, just hang loose, and we'll get an extra pair of hands to help you out.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be better, Ricky. As I started to maneuver over, even with my fair lead, it looks like it's going to hit that antenna. I don't want to do that.
Okay, well, just let's hang out until Reed gets down there, and we'll let the two of you install it. We're doing great on time.
Sounds good.
Okay, Ricky, just for bookkeeping, the BRT is attached, paddles out. I got my BRT rat onto the tether point on the WETA, and I'll get this thing stowed, and I'll be heading down to Butch.
We've got a great WVS. Thanks for the words, Reed. You got an awesome view of South America.
Yeah, you bet.
As you come out here, looks like it's going to be better if you come down the starboard side of the lab. Because that is the side that the bolt is on. And with this racetrack, I can't get around there where my safety tether is currently. Think that's possible?
All right, I'll take a look when I get down there, Butch.
Yeah.
Which we think.
Just run me through again. Go ahead, Ricky. Go ahead.
No, we think that's a great call. Just hang out, get a couple pair of eyes on it, some extra hands, and we'll get this thing installed with the two of you there.
This is Mission Control Houston, 4 hours, 4 minutes into the spacewalk. A good view of Butch Wilmore with the camera stanchion that he is relocating to the top side, or the space-facing side of the Harmony module. This is the zenith side, if you will. On the opposite side of Harmony, on the space-facing side, is currently located, is the location that the SpaceX Dragon cargo ship currently resides at. Dragon is to be detached and released robotically by Wiseman and Wilmore on Tuesday to be let go. The Dragon will separate from the station to a safe distance for its deorbit and its entry back into the Earth's atmosphere for a parachute-assisted splashdown west of Baja, California. The robotic release of the Dragon spacecraft from the robotic arm is scheduled next Tuesday at 10:33 a.m. Central Time. Splashdown scheduled about 6 hours later.
Hey, I see a volcano down there erupting. That is amazing.
The International Space Station flying 260 miles over southern Bolivia, moving from southwest to northeast.
Hey, Butch, what's the issue on the install, just so I know?
The bolt is on the other side of the racetrack, which is opposite from where my safety tether is routed. And for me to get over there, my safety tether is still, even though I've got a fair lead, it's going to hit those antennas. So I think the only way to get to this bolt to do it from the starboard side.
So you're thinking just have Reed come on up and drive the bolt for you?
That's correct.
I'm going to have to get rid of this weather before I can do that. So start thinking about that, Butch. Okay?
That looks like a good plan to us as well, guys.
Actually, Reed, I tell you what, when you get here, if you can hold the stanchion in place, I can maybe